And we're live. Welcome back to the Better Than Bitcoin podcast, where I talk about the future of money. I'm your host, Jamie DeVasquez. This is my second time recording this because I recorded the first time with my mic not turned on, and I just wasted half an hour of my life. Anyways, I just finished up my finals. The semester is over, so I'll be going back home to Florida in 2 days. This only means that the backdrop for the podcast will be different. I won't be in my dorm. I'll be at my parents' house in Florida. But the upload schedule of the podcast will remain the same. I'll upload once every week on Sunday. That's how I like to do it. So before I talk about some news that happened over the past week, I want to have a brief summary of the Bitcoin market. So over the past week, Bitcoin has dropped and bounced off of the 61.8% retracement, off of the $6,500 to $7,800 move in late November to early December. So that's when the market was going down a bit and trying to find new lows, and it found that new low of 6,500, and we kind of bounced off that and 5 waves up and then 3 waves down, and now we're at that 61.8 retracement. That is it shows that there's major support there at this retracement level. This level I'm talking about, it's around $7,000 ish, but it can pierce it and stuff like that, go like 10-20 bucks below it. But if it closes a 1 hour candle or a daily candle, or if it closes like a significant candle below that $7,000 level, then that's almost bad, but not kind of. It just increases the chances that you can see new lows below that $6,500 level. Otherwise, the pattern looks like a wave one and a wave two, an Elliott wave, since there's 5 waves off that low. I just described that. So if there's 5 waves off the low of 6,500 and we keep and hold this $7,000 price level, that means there can be an imminent wave three explosion coming soon. I'm hoping for that. Hoping for that. I am personally leaning bullish this week, mainly because of the timing right now in Bitcoin. What I mean by that is the Bitcoin reward halving is happening in about 3 months from now. It's not like I think it's scheduled. I know the day estimate could change based on the speed of the Bitcoin network, but it's estimated, last I checked, was March 14th, because that's Pi Day. That'd be kind of cool to have a Bitcoin halving on like a math holiday. Anyways, also right now it's coming up towards the end of December. And from previous price history in Bitcoin, December is always the month of increased volatility and significant trend making moves. It's kind of in my face a little. Anyways, moving on to some news that happened over the past week, besides the market update, little summary. Jack Dorsey, who is the CEO of Twitter, the CEO of Twitter, the CEO of Square, and he helped Square also made Cash App. So he's that guy. He announced on December 11th, so last Wednesday, that he is bringing together a small team to help build what is essentially a decentralized version of Twitter. The team that's being assembled is going to be called Blue Sky, if that's important at all. On my last episode of the podcast, I talked about the decentralized social media platform called Voice, which aims to be a derivative of Twitter, essentially. However, Voice is set to release in the mere 2 months on Valentine's Day, while Jack said in his Twitter thread about Blue Sky Project, it's supposedly going to take years to develop. So he hasn't even started yet, and yet Voice is already going to come out soon on the EOS blockchain. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, from the sound of that, it looks like Jack just had the idea for this when Voice was all over the news online. It was trending. People were like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for this new decentralized social network." Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. So yeah, he probably just saw that, got caught wind of that, and was probably like, if they're trying to make a copy of Twitter that's decentralized, that means he needs to do that. Because who could better make Twitter than the guy who made Twitter himself, if that makes sense. Anyways, I've said before, I'm really excited for this decentralized, widespread social network, which essentially can be transparent to deter things away, like fake news and like personalized content at the cost of your privacy. I'm really happy that Jack Dorsey recognizes this dark path that we're going on, that all social media is going towards, and is able to fix it, or hypothetically able to fix it because he hasn't started yet. And what I mean by this dark path is that social media right now is all about sneaky ways to harvest your data so you can be targeted to click on certain things and even be persuaded to believe certain things. Also, these tech companies, such as Facebook is the most infamous one, can just profit off your click whenever time you click and see something. The other day, my friend Max was watching this documentary on the Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal. And the person that was testifying was describing these aggressive targeting through social media like methods. They're describing them to be weapons grade technology. This is all because Cambridge Analytica used people's data to persuade people in other countries to basically make them believe certain things so they can essentially swing government elections and such. That's just plain scary. And on paper, a decentralized social media network that can be transparent can hypothetically fix all these problems, which I am excited for completely. So moving on to the next piece of news, it's reported that the U.S. Federal Reserve will print $425 billion for circulation in the upcoming weeks leading up to New Year's. So there's 2 weeks left in 2019, and they're aiming to print $425 billion. That's insane. I personally think it's insane. A lot of critics of this are, especially it's just Bitcoin Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, crypto Twitter is going crazy about it because I guess why the crypto Twitter hates it is because the whole essence of Bitcoin is that there's a fixed supply and nothing above 21 million coins can be mined or minted. So I think that this monetary policy by the U.S. Federal Reserve is very reactive to the issues in the economy versus proactive. This is because whenever the United States has money problems, they just print some more. And yes, it does solve a temporary problem, but it creates the problem of inflation in the future. It's, like I said, it's reactive, not proactive. And our government needs to be proactive to maintain a healthy market. I know maybe, well, I know maybe it might not be good in the short term. But I'm talking about in stocks in general, but like the longer you push off something, the more drastic the change will be. So that's a very generalized way of saying a recession. I'm kind of pro recession, not pro recession. I think there's a recession coming up. Anyways, I'm way off track. To put in perspective how much money the Federal Reserve will be printing over these next few weeks, the current market cap of Bitcoin is about $128 billion. That means the U.S. Federal Reserve will be printing more than 3 times Bitcoin's market cap in the upcoming 2 weeks. For those of you that don't know what the market cap is the total value of all circulating Bitcoins, or it's also a term used for stocks. So it's total value of all the circulating Bitcoins or circulating stocks. To get this number, you'd multiply the price of the Bitcoin or price of the stock multiplied by the number of circulating Bitcoins or number of available shares in stock. So that's like, combine that, and that can usually determine the value of a company or determine the value of the whole Bitcoin network. So that's all for episode 8 of the Better Than Bitcoin podcast. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Also, check out my main channel where I posted a new video today about my day in the life. I'll throw up the channel on the YouTube banner up on the screen. Follow me on Twitter at Genie Damascus. I'll throw it up on the screen too. And peace.